The Miami Heat are back in the hunt to get back into the NBA Finals, standing with a 41-21 record and the first seed in the Eastern Conference. They are on a 4-game winning streak, and they are winning games with their amazing team defense. What's been amazing about this Heat team is the coaching, the different defensive schemes and tactics they use to grind other teams, and even doing this when the first half of the season was a roller coaster with key guys being out. Erik Spoelstra still found a way to keep this team competitive, and he is putting on a coaching masterclass with this team. They are a switch-heavy team as they've been every year, but they mix in random zones and traps that can throw off the offense. They apply a lot of pressure on the perimeter players who want to shut down three-point shots and force isolation basketball. These guys zoom to closeouts, and they do well with scram switches. If you want to see some beautiful defensive rotations, then man, this team is a must-watch for you. Their defense is versatile, and that's in large part due to the talent that they have. Like, even watching offenses against this team, they are constantly trying to make quick decisions that are not normally made because there's always a body in front of them pressuring. The Heat are going to be a difficult team to go up against in a 7-game series just off their defense alone. Like with Bam, they love utilizing his ability to switch onto guards and contain them. They also use guys like Dedmon and Yurt7 who can play drop coverage well. Dedmon, they use him more on playing higher on screens. And when you got guys with high defensive IQs like Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, PJ Tucker, Lowry, it can be a nightmare scoring against this Heat team. This Heat team currently has an offensive rating of 113, which ranks 7th in the league, and a defensive rating of 108.2, which ranks 6th in the league. So they have a top 7 offense and a top 7 defense. We're going to look at some defensive clips from the Heat Bulls Monday night game to illustrate what the Heat try to do on defense to annoy their opponents. This Chicago Bulls team is one of the best offensive teams in the league with Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Nikola Vucevic. Switching, help, and seamless rotating. Here in transition, the Bulls get a drag screen for LaVine, an immediate switch, very comfortable having Tucker out there on the perimeter defending. And on the entry pass to Vucevic, Butler reaches. This now triggers the weak side low man to come over. Robinson goes over to help. Butler's in a bad position. Check the rotations. Vincent and Bam. They force the ball out of Vucevic's hands. Robinson has to close out on this strong and has to put a hand up to challenge the three. DeMar does miss this shot, and this is the ideal defensive possession, not allowing single coverage, forcing kickouts, smooth rotating, and switching. Everyone on the floor will be asked to guard different people. On this possession, one-on-one post up with DeMar going up against Gabe Vincent. Now Vincent is capable of holding his own on this, but DeMar has just gone berserk this year, so the Heat do not want to make it easy. Few back downs, then Bam will come over and help double, force the ball out of DeMar's hands. Poor pass to Vucevic. It does seem like Bam may have tipped it, and this results in Tucker swooping in, getting the ball, and they are out in transition. Defense leading to offense. Now, the negatives with being a switch-heavy defense is you giving up potential mismatches. In a lineup of PJ, Butler, Vincent, and Bam, Duncan Robinson, even though he does give effort, is the guy that's going to be picked out in switches. So we see here Vucevic sealing Robinson off. Now Robinson does look to front Vucevic in the post, and that forces Jimmy Butler on the weak side to come over and to play help on the lob pass. The ball gets passed around, so Butler has to retreat, and stuff like this is going to happen. Robinson is in a tough position, and Vucevic is able to take advantage of it. One way to combat this is scram switching. The Bulls run stagger twirl here for Zach LaVine. Bam switches onto LaVine, and Robinson switches onto Vucevic. Now, scram switch. As Vucevic goes in the paint, PJ Tucker says, "Hey, Duncan, don't worry, I got Vucevic. Cover Green for me in the corner." Now that matchup is neutralized, and let's sit back and enjoy this one-on-one defense of Bam Adebayo on Zach LaVine. There's comfort here on the switch on the ball screen, and PJ Tucker can hound Vucevic. With Tucker fronting Vucevic, the weak side low man in Duncan Robinson can come over and help pressure Vucevic, putting him in a bad position and forcing the ball out of his hands. Jimmy Butler is sneaky getting steals. He had 4 this game, and one way he does get steals is by attacking offensive players blindside. He lurks around the baseline trying to see if he can come over and steal the ball. So on this possession on the switch, Bam does a good job defending DeMar, so the Bulls look for Vucevic to go in the post against PJ Tucker. Tucker isn't in the best defensive post position here, so Butler helps off of Levine, roaming the paint, and is able to swoop in on the entry pass and steals the ball. Jimmy is also capable and comfortable enough to match up on bigger players like Vucevic and defend them well. Jimmy is a smart defensive player, so right when Vucevic looks to back him down, he retreats a bit, goes over to where the ball is, strips it loose, and he gets a steal. The Bulls get a drag screen and the Heat switch. Bam is almost always guarding the perimeter. Butler is able to hound Vucevic a bit. PJ Tucker is providing some help defense just in case Vucevic gets the ball. They go for a Levine-Vucevic pick and roll. Tucker comes over early as the low man, ready to tag the rolling Vucevic, and trusting that Duncan Robinson will cover the 2 in the corner and split the difference, trusting the rotations. Butler on the pass to Vucevic is able to tip it loose and get a steal here. Now at times they will mix in some different defensive tactics. They immediately trap the ball handler coming up the court, forcing the ball out of his hands, and now they operate in a zone defense. Hero closes out on the corner. Vincent helps to force the ball out. Now the Bulls are able to work the ball around, but now the nearest man to the ball's job is to close out strong. They go to that half-court trap again here. DeMar is able to get it to Kobe White, and now Butler helps off of Jones Jr. But now, stuff like this, Troy Brown goes one-on-ones against Hero and converts a shot inside. I had to label this clip Bam Adebayo, man, because, man, Bam Adebayo is a defensive nightmare. Levine stumbles with the ball, which results in the ball being passed to Kobe White and a ball screen. Adebayo switches onto White, and okay, Kobe gets a bit of a step on Bam, draws the help defense of PJ Tucker, and this should be a good inside pass to Vucevic, right? Should be a good play here. Nope. Bam immediately turns his attention to Vucevic and rejects this shot. Just phenomenal defensive instincts and ability to rise up and block this shot on a play that seemed like you were already beat. Just great defense here. Then here, Bam is able to go one-on-one with Vucevic in the post, plays him well, uses those long arms to good use, and on the fadeaway shot, he sends it right back. The Bulls get DeMar DeRozan coming off a zipper screen and getting a double ball screen, which draws a switch with Bam on him now. The driving lanes is pretty crowded. You got PJ Tucker stunting at the ball. Butler can help if DeMar gets by Bam, and Vincent in the corner who comes over, stunts at the ball, and pokes it loose, creating a turnover. Defense turns to offense for the Heat now. Bam runs the floor and finds Vincent in the corner for a 3-ball. More of that great rotating from the Heat. The Bulls run a stagger for Ayo. The Heat switch every screen. They look to get Vucevic in the post against Tucker. Butler roams around the paint, comes from the weak side to help. Again, not allowing Vucevic to go one-on-one. Tyler Hero slides over to cover Butler's man. Bam splits the difference up top. Now since Ayo gets the ball, Bam will commit to him and Hero will rush out to close out on the Kobe White 3. Unfortunately, they can't secure the rebound, and now the Bulls kick it out. Ayo attacks the Hero closeout, leaving Tucker to pick up and help, and Bam isn't able to get there early to pick up on Vucevic, and Vucevic scores inside. The Heat's defense really did hound the Bulls here, as on this stagger screen for Kobe White, Vincent is there denying him, so they go for another option in Troy Brown and look to reset and get it to Kobe. And they go into a pick and roll. On the drive, check how there are multiple bodies just collapsing onto White, forcing a pass to Ayo in the corner, which is contained. Caleb Martin comes over to stop the Brown drive. Bam Adebayo is free to help Martin as Vincent is sealing his man. Brown doesn't see the open Jones Jr. in the corner, and the Heat defend this shot inside well into a shot clock violation. That'll wrap it up for this video. This Heat defense looks to cause problems for any Eastern Conference offense. They'll be an annoying matchup for anyone. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Also, how far do you think the Miami Heat can go this season? And with all that being said, I will see you all in the next video.